Local production is more than economies. It's confidence in our ability to create, compete, and lead. Hello and welcome to The Edge. Today on the program, we step into an industry that defines mobility, innovation, and national ambition. Automobiles are more than machines. They represent engineering, employment, and economic confidence. My guest today is a Nigerian entrepreneur making a mark in local vehicle manufacturing, proving that Africa can build for itself and the world. His name is Toby Ajayi, CEO of Nord Automobiles. Welcome to The Edge.
Hi, my name is Toby Ajayi. I'm the chairman and CEO of Nord Automotive Limited, Nigeria's finest and premium automaker.
Every bold company begins with a belief. The belief that something can be done differently and done locally. Let's join Toby as he takes us back to the idea that sparked Nord Autos, what he was trying to fill in the automobile industry.
I've always had a dream to, to be honest, most young children who love the engineering to own my own auto brand. But it was just a dream. The same way I have a dream to send Nigerians to the moon now. Would I do it? Would I not do it? I don't know. So it was just a dream. But how it became a reality was that I worked for Mercedes-Benz. I started my career at Mercedes-Benz in my early 20s. I grew very fast. At 24, I was the head of a division. And at 26, I left to start a dealership, not Mercedes-Benz. And everything was going well until the Naira lost value around 2015, 2016. And my customers could not buy the vehicles I was selling, which is the Mercedes-Benz vehicles I was selling. And they wanted something more affordable. And for me, that was a problem I had to solve. So I knew that at that point, I had to provide the customers with durable, reliable, elegant, but also very affordable vehicles. And I knew that that was the only way they were going to continue to buy and be happy buying. And that's how I created Nord to solve that problem. So that's, I named it Nord, and it's been good since then. When you say Nord, it means you're going up, it means not, which is something positive, something, something elevating, something going up, which is positive, very positive, very inspiring. And that's why I liked the name. I worked for Mercedes-Benz, so going to Germany and hearing the name was an inspiration to me. And so the inspiration came from my Mercedes-Benz German background.
Manufacturing vehicles is not just about horsepower. It's also about numbers, margins, and scale. Let's take a look at the business of automobiles. This is your Money Minute for today. Automobile manufacturing is capital intensive, technical, and unforgiving. From sourcing components to quality control and consumer trust, the journey is not for the faint-hearted. Toby takes us through the realities behind the build and the days he just wanted to shut down. Take a listen.
It was very tough. And number one problem I had was finance. It was really tough raising, very, very tough raising money. When I started, many people did not believe. Now it's nicer. People believe, people know that Nigerians can make vehicles. I get a lot of accolades and praises when I go places. But when I started in late 2017, early 2018, it wasn't the case. People thought I was mad. People thought I was just blabbing. I was just unserious. I wanted to just, some people just felt that maybe it was arrogance. I just wanted a very big project that makes me feel good. But no, I knew that we could do this. I knew that Nigerians actually needed to do this. Not even they could do this. I know Nigerians needed to have their own auto brand. There cannot be a country of 200 million people always importing vehicles. It wasn't just sustainable. Many countries with the size of Nigeria and population have their own thriving automotive manufacturing space. So I knew it was something we had to do. And of course, at that time, because people didn't believe then, so it was very, very challenging raising money. And that was my biggest challenge, raising the money to set up the assembly plant. As you know, it's very, very capital intensive. It starts slowly. Like I always tell people when I advise them, and start from where you are. So I started from what I could achieve. I started from just 2 vehicles. From 2, I moved to 4. From 4, I moved to 10, and that's how it's been. So the first 1 year, maybe it was adrenaline or so. Because I was hearing a lot of no then. So I can't be the one, when I hear a lot of no, I can't also be telling myself no. So I think I was just pushing through. I was just pushing through that first 1 year, let's say 2018, 2019, I was pushing through. However, after I raised some money, we started the scale of the amount of challenges that we have to cross to even survive. Forget scaling, forget making it through. Just surviving hits me. Of course, I started asking myself what I was doing. And it wasn't a moment. It was for years. Like every day I was trying, I was fighting to keep this company alive. Every day. So it's not a moment. Like I wake up in the morning not to go and make money. I wake up in the morning to ensure the company does not die. And I did that. I think the company actually got to a point where I said, okay, maybe we won't die around late 2023. Yes, many times my wife and I were always having very, very frank conversations in even 2023 about, because the future of the company is my future and the future of the family. We used to have some very frank conversations. So it was very tough. It was very tough. And when I kept on pushing, I just knew that if I kept on pushing, if I kept on fighting for this company, for the soul of the company, if I kept on doing things the right way, we would cross a point where I know that we'll get there. And I think we crossed that point. Let's say January 2024, late 2023. It's just starting from where you were. So, and being diligent. So I started with I had some money. I started with my own money. Later, I needed money. I went to a bank. After going to a bank, the bank gave it to me. It was nice. Somebody that I know liked it, also did the profit sharing process with me. So along the way, I think one thing that was clear was that I showed a very remarkable level of integrity. And slowly, but eventually, the news was spreading that, oh, that guy is very prudent. That guy would, when you give him money, he will return the money. Money was not more a problem at a point. In fact, I was not the one deciding whose person's money to collect and which one I shouldn't collect. And that was also very important because I now started dictating the interest rates with which I get money. So right now, I get some of the best rates in the country because I think I've proven, even though I'm still quite a young man, I've proven that I have the competence and the credibility to use money the right way. First things first, I had the knowledge, and I'll say I had the competence, trained by one of the best in the world. So I saw firsthand how vehicles are being made, how vehicles are being assembled. I saw firsthand what it takes to actually organize a supply chain. I didn't know I didn't even know that you needed a supply chain. Yeah, but working for Mercedes-Benz, I knew what the supply chain was about, how you have to keep the relationship with suppliers, how you have to negotiate, how you have to have different suppliers for different products so you can get the same price, a better price. So I soaked in all those knowledge from Mercedes-Benz. I knew I had to start. And that's when I had to tap into all the knowledge that I had, which is knowing how to assemble vehicles. That's very important. It's because if you don't know how to assemble vehicles, I'm sure you won't be able to, you'll be wondering, how am I going to do this? But I remember I was like, okay, I've seen these guys do it. Even though they make it look like Africans can't do it, but I've seen these guys do it. I know it's possible. So I just did a bit more research, spoke to some of the friends I have within them, and they gave me some insights here and there. The passion, the grit. I have so much energy, if you know me well. So when I want something, I go for it. So that determination was also very important. And the ability to also raise money was also very important. And the ability to also convince people to buy. Sales, like they always say, solves almost all problems. You can have the best engineering, but if you cannot get customers to believe in your product and buy it, it'll be a waste. So the ability to also sell was also very important. It was the incentive to invest in assembly plants and assemble in Nigeria was there. And I took advantage of it. And not just me, a lot of other people took advantage of it. And we started assembling and we invested a lot. And when the Finance Act of 2020 changed and all the tariffs were reduced, for example, the same tariff to bring in vehicles, buses, for example, pickups, and the same tariff to assemble it, SKD. So there's no point to bring in SKD because you have the same 10%. So at this point, the many people stopped assembling in Nigeria, but there's still CKD. There's still a bit of incentive for passenger cars, which we're still doing. So we're assembling a lot of passenger cars. In fact, all our passenger cars are assembled here in Nigeria. And for the commercial vehicles, what we've done is we've gone a step lower into complete knockdown. So we do the welding here, the painting and everything so that we can continue to provide the engineers that we've employed and trained a reason to remain in us. Because if you're not doing any assembly, why are you keeping them in? It's like you're wasting their career. They won't find a reason. So even though it's actually loss making to assemble, yes, commercial vehicles, you lose money when you assemble commercial vehicles in Nigeria at the moment because of the policy. The policy does not encourage assembly, but we still assemble because we already have the investment, we already have the technical team, and we need to give them reasons to remain with us. And we hope that sooner or later, the incentives will be returned.
We applaud Toby's tenacity and his drive to keep going in spite of the daunting challenges. His insistence to keep Nord automobiles running is inspiring. Sometimes, one idea captures the spirit of an entire industry. Here is your Edge Code for today. This is still The Edge, and our spotlight is on Toby Ajayi, an indigenous automobile manufacturer. In a market dominated by imports, standing out takes more than ambition. What truly sets Nord Autos apart in Nigeria's automotive space? The Edge Factor is up next.
We're a very customer-centric company. Word of mouth goes far, and many people will deal with us. Not, of course, we're not 100%, we're not perfect. But I think more than 98% of people who deal with us have good things to say about us. So a lot of people who come here, right now, majority of our sales are actually from word of mouth, or people who's heard good things about us, or on social media, or through a friend that has bought or something. So I think That's currently our major edge. So I think someone said something one day, and I don't think the person was hailing us. The person said, or was introducing me and said, chairman of the most loved auto brand. I don't think the person was just hyping me. I think it was a statement of fact. We are the most loved auto brand in Nigeria. Regardless of any brand, foreign or local, we are the most loved auto brand. You learn why certain things or certain countries should have certain things. Countries that have bad roads have reinforced suspensions. Countries that have high doors, high humidity, have some special sieves on their radiator. Countries that have bad roads again have added plates under them to protect the body and even the engine, additional plates. So those are things that we added to our vehicles that most of our competitors do not even think about, So reinforce the suspension, that's the shock absorber, like Nigerians call it. Reinforce suspension, better cooling system. It starts from the little things like the radiator, the evaporator, and the rest. Plating sensitive or vulnerable areas underneath the vehicle, the engine area, having a special kind of oil filter and fuel filter because of our fuel quality. Those little and many, many other things, even to the bolt. So we just ensure that we always buy what the biggest players in the market buy. And I think that's why we've grown very fast, because we've not played like a newcomer. We've played like an industry giant. It's not child's play. It's very serious work with serious safety considerations. Of course, we have managers and health professionals and safety professionals whose job is to ensure that during assembly, especially, everybody is following the safety guidelines and safety is not compromised in the factory. Then for our vehicles, we use some of the best parts in the world from Asia. Yes, some of the best OEMs, the same that everybody drives, the same ones from your best in Japan. We use the same parts for the vehicles. So if the vehicle is supposed to last 25 years, for the Japanese guys, it's going to last 25 years for us because we source our parts from the same place. So the quality of a vehicle, like I always tell people, is the aggregate of its parts. So if you source credible, reliable, top quality parts, you are going to get a reliable, top quality vehicle also. The biggest lesson would be stay competitive. I think that's the biggest lesson. Like, stay competitive, remain competitive in all areas. Stay competitive. If people are making your customers, they're giving your customers A, give your customers A, or even better. Whatever they're doing, whatever the market is doing, just do better. I think that's the biggest lesson I've learned. Just strive to be as competitive as you can. Be the company that makes your customers as happy as they can be. Be the company that makes your staff as happy as they can be. Be the company that makes your investors and your creditors returns that they want to come back to you. So, which means, like I said earlier, you have to be as competitive as you can, which I think that's the biggest lesson. For me, some people may have it differently. I came from ground zero. Do you get? I came from ground zero. So I had to fight for everything I had got. And the only way I got it was showing everybody I met on the way, from staff to customers to investors, that we will give you the best deal.
Indeed, knowing what sets you apart from the others is important, as this helps give you an immense boost to your ability to sell your products. That's one tip for you, but if you're building in manufacturing or any capital-intensive industry, this next bit matters, because Edge Tip is up next. I truly hope that tip was helpful. Now, The future of mobility is changing. Electric vehicles, sustainability, and local production are shaping the next chapter. What does the road ahead look like for Nord Autos? Next up is Future Forward.
Can't really do what we have to do without some encouraging policies from the government. That's the truth. Like, it's impossible. You cannot have a policy that does not encourage assembly in Nigeria, where people like us are assembling at a loss. You cannot have such policy and still grow. Currently, only 0.6% of the entire vehicles bought in Nigeria, purchased in Nigeria, and made in Nigeria. So 99.4% of our market is imported vehicles. We ourselves, our government, and we, the local players, should work to allowing Africans own the African market. Nigerians own the Nigerian market. So if that happens, we get the right policy. I actually see Nord being, in the next 5 years, being one of the biggest automotive companies in the entire world. I see our name being mentioned in many places. If they get the right policy, I see us exhibiting our vehicles in the most popular auto firms, auto exhibitions in the world, like Guangzhou, Stuttgart, and maybe we too will have the audacity to also have probably the Lagos Auto Fair, where foreign companies from all over the world will want to come and exhibit their vehicles here. Right now, there is no auto firm in Nigeria that has our reach. We currently have the widest after-sales network in Nigeria. So, of course, we will continue to progress on that and remain number one. Like they say, being number one is easy. Remaining there is hard or harder. So we are number one now in terms of after sales. We intend to remain there, and we would work very hard. Like I said, being competitive is an edge. So we like the competition. We'll stay there and continue to provide our customers with superior after sales with anywhere or in most of the major cities in Nigeria. If you don't have a thriving auto industry as a country, you're just probably a vassal state. I'm being honest. Because when you have a thriving auto industry, you have it's a gigantic industry. The GDP will just balloon. The auto industry, when the auto industry is thriving, you need glass manufacturing people who have to produce glass. Currently, we don't have any tire manufacturing company in Nigeria. This is a giant industry that will employ hundreds of thousands of people. You would have them. You won't even just have one tire making company. You probably have 2, 3, 4 tire making companies here in this country in different cities. You have companies that are pressing steel, the steel, the body. You have, then, of course, over time, the incentive to research and development will be there. That's why you start seeing people making chips, making different machines that are used in high quality manufacturing, which we're not even thinking about doing in Nigeria. So first things first, what our advice is study hard, go for trainings, go for internships in the industry you want to serve in, because the only way you can thrive in any industry you want to be in is to first of all know how to deliver value. And that's what I'll say competence. So when you have the competence, when you have the capacity, then I would say let the person start where they are, wherever they are. You don't have to be the biggest in the world. You don't have to have everything fixed. Nobody had everything fixed. Not Facebook, which is now Meta, not Amazon, not even Bill Gates, Microsoft, not Nord, not even Alaji Aliko Dangote. Nobody had everything fixed. You have to just start from where you are. Of course, first things first, have competence. When you are competent, you know you will deliver value. You know, if you are pushed into the ocean, you will swim. Then start from wherever you are.
Inspiring dreams there, and we look forward to watching it all unfold. That's it on our conversation for today, but before we go, here is how to connect with us. We look forward to hearing from you and continuing this conversation off the screen. But right now, we have to go. Today's conversation reminds us that industrial growth begins with belief. Belief in local talent, local systems, and local capacity. Thank you, Toby Ajayi, for driving this vision forward. That's it on The Edge for today. Until we come your way again with another inspiring story, stay bold, stay inspired, stay on the edge. My name is Tochi Eputa. Bye for now.